Hello people, I'm Data and welcome to my channel. Today we have a patch review, the patch that is going to drop June 21st. It's a pretty big patch. We have a new mech, a new map, quirk changes, weapon changes. So I'll analyze them one by one, starting from the new mech. We have finally the Crusader. This is an inner sphere 65 tonner, and I don't know why they put the map. Okay, there we are with the Crusader quirks. So one of them is focused on LRMs. What we're trying to do here is to give each variant a specific focus, so they don't feel all the same, and you have the feeling that every single one has something to do, possibly that doesn't already exist in the game. We tried to keep things diversified. So one of them is the 3R, has an LRM HSL. Of course, it can do other stuff. It has other quirks, but it's slightly unique because of the LRM quirk. These are the hard points. It has 6 missiles, and energy, ballistic. It's the 3R. Then we have the 5K, which has an MRM HSL. You see, the problem here is that all of these variants were pretty similar in terms of hardpoint. So the only way to diversify them was to give them weapon-specific quirks. Otherwise, they all have a bunch of missiles, except a couple of ones, but without weapon-specific quirks, these ones would feel more or less the same. So you have one on MRMs, one on Streaks plus LBs, one which is the Infotech variant, the one with ECM, sensor range, sensor, enhanced ECM, seismic sensor, and then there is one without quirks, which is the one with 14 energy hardpoints, because inner sphere small lasers are extremely strong in terms of damage per heat, and they have been balanced without ghost heat, because until this moment, there was no mech in the inner sphere that could boat a lot of them efficiently. This is the first one. It will be able to do something like 2 heavy PPCs and 12 small lasers, or 3 PPCs and 11, something like that. Some PPCs or some large pulses and backup small lasers. This design, which resembles the designs of an executioner, doesn't exist yet, and small lasers are not balanced on this. They were balanced on 6 with the idea of bringing 6 of them, 7 of them, so potentially bringing 12 of them, given that the damage per heat of those weapons is very good compared to the other lasers. It could be potentially very, very strong, and that's why we decided to go without quirks. Then we have quirks for the other mechs. Piranha removed a heavy MG ammo bonus per ton. This one is the one that used to go with heavy MGs and micro pulses. It's the one with 4 AMSs. Ideally, the guys that designed these kind of quirks were like, okay, let's give it ammo boost so it can run AMS. But of course, the idea doesn't work, because what you do is that you don't bring MGs with AMS. You just strip the AMS, because AMS is completely useless, and you bring more machine guns. So this one, which is also the one that has more agility, ended up being a Piranha with top level firepower, top level agility, top level survival, top level everything. And this is an attempt to reduce the power of this mech. I think other Piranhas should have been nerfed as well, as the Piranhas have too much survival for the firepower they have. Not this one, because without an AVMG ammo boost, this will have to replace heavy MGs with regular MGs, so it's kind of justified. But something like the Piranha 1 that can do 12 machine guns, 3 more pulses, it shouldn't have survival quirks. Like if you have that level of firepower, you should die if you get hit. You can't be a tank and have top level firepower as well. Mistlinks, that was and still is an overperformer. It got a lot of buffs that it shouldn't have received, and that's why its survival is going down on the arms. Oh, but it loses its arms. It should, because it's its only weakness. Like, without having a minimum weakness, a mech is invincible, which is what is happening right now. So some mechs, every mech, should have a weakness. Oh, but the range is short, and that's the weakness that it has. No, having short range is a weakness for an Atlas. Because for an Atlas, it is a weakness because it is difficult for a mech of that size and speed to approach the enemy. For a mech that is that small, fast, and bugs with the jump jet, it's not a weakness because those agility stats, that size of the mechs, of that mech, allows him to go wherever he wants, whenever he wants. So short-range weapons have the weakness of being short-ranged, of course, but light mechs can fully deny the only weakness of those weapons. And this is the worst offender at the moment, together with the Piranha and the Viper. And that's why we have also on the Viper removed heavy machine gun ammo. Like, again, he didn't need heavy machine gun ammo boosts. It just allows that mech to swap micro pulses for small pulses. Why? For what reason? The mech is going to be super strong and is still going to be broken even with the heavy machine gun ammo reduced. It's also losing minimal armor quirks on the arms, hoping that it helps to stop this machine gun, this cancerous machine gun meta. And then we have the light PPC cancer. Since the beginning, when light PPC damage was buffed, I was like, if damage is getting buffed from 5 to 5.5, then the mechs with the most quirks on those should go down. Because otherwise, again, you have that cancerous mechanic where you are trying to enjoy the game, and then there is the small urban mech that does boop, 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 and you can't hit it. Then you try to push it, and he runs away. Like another hill 600 meters away. And he's like again, boop, boop, and you can't do anything. This kind of cancerous gameplay drives people away from the game because you feel you are hopeless. You feel you can't do anything against that. You can't hide, you can't run, you can't do anything because the mechs that do this sort of shit are also faster than most of the other mechs, so they can bully you at will and then run away or find you from another angle. So some of the worst offenders got nerfed. Is this enough? Not even close. Like, there are other mechs that do this in a cancerous way that haven't been touched, like the Javelin and the Spider. And this is a mistake. Jenner added 5 laser heat, acceptable. Quirk for the sake of quirking doesn't make any sort of sense whatsoever. The mech is already good with 6 medium lasers and jump jets. Awesome, increased PVC family heat to 10% from 5. It's not going to break the game at all, but again, quirk for the sake of quirking, you didn't need it. Highlander added 25% fall damage. Again, I was against this because fall damage is an issue on all the heavies and the assaults. It's a problem that is shared across the board. So the fall damage should have been addressed on the base level, not on a quirk level. Annihilator. This is due to the weapon changes. We are changing the snubs. I think more mechs should have received this kind of quirk because now snubs will be max 2 no ghost instead of max 3 no ghost. So some mechs that can do just 3 plus an AC 20 or 3 and 3 should have received the HSL, especially if they can't do anything else. And there are many mechs out there that can't do anything else. Like, for example, an Awesome can do just 3 snubs, 3 SRM6s. An Orion K can do just 3 snubs and an AC-20. It's fine if some mechs that can do other stuff don't get the HSL to be able to shoot 3 again, because at least they can run other builds. But if those mechs can do just that, they should receive the HSL. Weapon changes. And here we are, snub noses. We're trying to make them good even if you use them by themselves. Because right now they're good only if you pair them with AC-20s. So, more pinpoint, more splash. By themselves, they are a lot stronger. But you cannot fire 3 together anymore. So, you'll be able to run some 40 tonners with 2 snubs and maybe something else. And you will have to go to 4, shooting 2 and 2, or 4 with AC-20s. For example, Stalker Misery, 4 snubs and an AC-20. There is a Marauder, snubs and AC-20. Fafnir, 4 snubs and double AC-20 and shoot left and right, and so on. ERPPC, increase the penalty to 7. So in a sphere ERPPC will ghost exactly like all the other weapons. Why we did this? Simply because if there is ghosted set on a certain level, then exceeding that ghosted should be a rare case scenario. If you start exceeding the ghosted regularly, like if exceeding the ghost number becomes the regular way to play a mech, then it's evident that we did a mistake. Like, why the fuck did we set it at max 2 no ghost if then players are able to fire 3 or 4 together constantly? What's the point of setting it at 2 no ghosts? So we made sure that if it is set at 2 no ghost, you use them 2 per time, as they are meant to. And then if they underperform, we're going to adjust them in other ways, but I don't think so, because the way you use ERPPCs usually is by firing them together with light gauzes. So they are not really affected by this change. The only problem is there were some mechs that could say, hey, fuck ghosted, I'm gonna alpha strike 3, 4 of them together with light gauzes and one-shot mechs left and right, which is again a very cancerous mech to, which is again a very cancerous way to play the game. And again, I understand the frustration that a light mech has when he gets one shot straight away, so you shouldn't be able to do 50, 60 perfect pinpoint convergence damage at 900, 1 kilometer away. Heavy Ghost Rifle, increased ammo per ton to 7 from 5. That's not a bad change, but it's completely useless. Heavy Ghost mechs don't starve on ammo at all. I have an Annihilator with dual Heavy Ghosts and 6 meds. I have a Fafnir with Heavy Ghosts and meds. They're not starving on ammo. That's not the problem of Heavy Ghosts. It's a good change, but it's an irrelevant, pointless one. The problem of Heavy Ghosts is first the screen shake. It could be seen as a feature, but it interferes with the way you fire it, because you cannot pre-charge the gauze and then unleash it with this finger and then unleash it together with the lasers on the other finger. You can't do that because of the screen shake. What I would like to see for the heavy gauss is a range normalization with the other gausses, because it has something like a per 4, per 4.5, but maximum range, but a very short optimal range. I'd like to see the optimal range increased and the maximum range decreased, so it becomes better at doing what it has to do in its own range and worse at extreme ranges, because that's not a ranged weapon. There you go. Excellent. Then, light machine guns. What's happening here? They're losing crit power, but they're gaining range. So what is happening here is that we are trying to make light machine guns different from other machine guns. The only way is more range but less crits. Why less crits? Otherwise people are going to run 400 meters away in the back and just crit people in the back, and instead of from 100, 120, 150 meters, they're going to do that from 400 meters away, and the amount of cancer in this game is going to increase even further. That's why with more range, there have to be a lot less crits. And we are at the end. Map. The map designer needs to understand that we cannot choose the mech after we see the map. This concept has to be very clear. And that's another concept that has to be very clear. Every playstyle has to exist. You cannot design maps so that they delete on purpose one playstyle. There are a lot of playstyles in this game, and that's why people keep playing it, because it's diversified. This is not faction play. Like on faction play, building a map to delete a playstyle on purpose is fine, because you can choose the mech after you see the map. So for example, I'm going to see a face hug brawl fest like this one, I'm going to choose a brawler if it is in faction play. Excellent. But in quick play, I can't do that. That's why maps like Solaris City or Alpine Peaks are bad. Because when you drop on those maps, you feel, if you are using a certain playstyle, you feel like there is nothing you can do. And this is bad for the longevity of the game and for the enjoyment of the game. Because you feel like, okay, I'm this map, okay, Alt F4, and I'm going to quit. Some good designs are the ones that we had on Canyon Network, on HPG Manifold, because you can do something with every playstyle. You drop in a brawler in Canyon Network, you can go in a canyon. You drop in a sniper, you can go trash dump or Echo 5. HPG Manifold, you drop into a brawler, you can go behind the pillars in the middle, or you can go downstairs. You drop in a sniper, you can go up on the walls. These maps are same for Emerald Taiga. You drop in a sniper, you can easily go up on the top. You drop in a brawler, you can stay hidden behind the buildings in the middle and have your brawl. It happens every game. And that's what a map should be in a game that doesn't let you change the mech once you have the map. But the problem is when you are designing maps on purpose to delete a playstyle from the game, because these people Alt F4 and quit the game. It's unfair. It's completely unfair. This map is designed on purpose to delete everything that shoots past 5 to 600 meters. So if you happen to have a long-range mech on this map, ask quit and go to the mech lab. Where are you supposed to go? Like, this map is built entirely to deny sightlines. Even if you go up here, you're not going to see anything down here because there is all metal in the front. You're not going to be able to see anything. The only thing that ideally you would see from here is the other snipers here. So at least you can snipe the other snipers. But you can't even do that because there is this cancer bullshit in the middle that blocks the view on purpose. And the fact that this was done on purpose is even more scary because it means that there is a map design that is going to delete playstyles, not because of incompetence, but because of bad intentions. That's not a way to build or balance a game at all. And that's why the most chosen maps and the most liked maps are the ones that favor every playstyle. If you see what maps get voted the most, those ones are Canyon Network, Tourmaline Desert, HPG Manifold, and even Emerald Vale. Like, of course there are going to be some stupid pepegas who are going to say, oh, it's a snipe fest. Yes, how many of them? 3, 4? Just the idiots that want one playstyle to prevail over the others, and that's it. But if you go to the votes, and you see how many people vote those maps, Emerald Vale is a success. Everyone is voting it. Everyone likes it. Because no matter what you have, you can do something. That map design is perfect. Is a success. HPG Manifold, it's perfect. Everyone likes it. Everyone votes it. Canyon Network, it's perfect. Everyone votes Canyon Network, Hibernal Rift, Tourmaline Desert. Those are the Mining Collective. Mining Collective is another example. You can do stuff if you're in a brawler, if you're in a sniper, if you are in a light mech, that's excellent. But, I mean, take a sniping mech, like near large mech, near PPC mech without jump jets. You tell me where you're gonna go, because I don't know. These walls are not accessible. And even if you get on these, you don't see anything because there is all sort of bullshit in the middle. If you get up here, you can't see down below because there is this metal here and you can't see anything here. You have to go in the open and get alarmed to death. So you can't do that. If you stay here and you want to snipe the other snipers on the other map, you can't do that because there is this one. If you go down below, you can't see anything past this one. So if you brought some PPCs, ER large or Gausses or AC2s, you tell me where you're going to do. To me, the answer is in the mech lab. I'm going to quit the game, go in the mech lab, and search for another map. And that's not the way to balance the game. Very, very bad map design. Very, very bad map design. So I think we covered everything. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. If so, remember to smash the subscribe button, like the video, share, and I'll catch you guys next time.